When this 110-pound Rottweiler puppy was left in a shelter, everyone thought his story was over. Too big, too scary, too unwanted. But then, a woman stayed late one night and saw something in his eyes. What happened next, what he did every single night, would shock her and prove that the dogs we fear most are often the heroes we need. Keep watching. Abandoned, alone, terrified. A 110-pound Rottweiler puppy sat in the corner of a cold shelter kennel, trembling. His massive frame pressed against the concrete wall as if he could disappear into it. For 2 months he'd been there, waiting, watching families walk past, their eyes sliding over him without a second glance. He was emaciated despite his size, ribs visible beneath his black and tan coat, eyes dull and clouded with fear. Every sudden movement made him flinch, every voice made him cower. He wouldn't look up, he wouldn't wag his tail, he just existed. What was going through his mind during those endless silent hours? Did he wonder why his family left him? Did he replay memories of a home he once knew, trying to understand what he'd done wrong? Other dogs barked with excitement when visitors came. Puppies with bright eyes and wagging tails found homes within days. But this Rottweiler puppy, he just sat there, massive and broken, too scared to even hope. People saw his size, 110 pounds of dangerous breed, and kept walking. Shelter staff tried. They brought treats, they spoke softly, but he wouldn't come forward. Trust had been shattered, and at just months old, he'd already learned that humans could abandon you without warning. Then came the night that changed everything. But then, Sarah walked in. It was late, past closing time. She volunteered at the shelter, often staying after hours to check on the dogs nobody wanted. That night, she found herself standing in front of his kennel. Their eyes met. Something about him caught her heart immediately. Beneath all that fear, she saw it, a soul desperate to trust again. Maybe this was meant to be? "Hey, big guy," she whispered, kneeling slowly. He didn't move at first. His body stayed frozen, pressed against the wall. But then, his tail gave the smallest wag, just once, barely noticeable, but it was enough. Sarah reached her hand through the bars. He flinched. Then slowly, cautiously, his nose moved forward. He sniffed her hand. His whole body trembled, but he didn't pull away. "You're coming home with me," she said softly. When they arrived at her house, he stood frozen at the doorway. His massive paws hesitated on the threshold. Slowly, cautiously, he stepped inside. A soft bed waited in the corner. He stared at it, confused, as if unsure whether he was allowed. Sarah sat on the floor beside it. "It's yours," she said. He looked at her. Then, for the first time in 2 months, he lay down. His head rested on the bed, eyes still wide with disbelief. "I see you haven't subscribed yet, and honestly, that breaks my heart. His story is just beginning." But what Sarah discovered every night would shock her and change everything she thought she knew about this gentle giant. Nobody expected this, but the first night revealed everything. Sarah awoke to the sound of soft padding, heavy paws moving slowly through the hallway. She opened her eyes, and there he was, standing in her doorway, his massive silhouette backlit by the hallway light. Her heart raced. Was he scared? Did he need something? But he didn't come closer. He just stood there, watching. After a few minutes, he turned and walked away. The second night, the same thing happened, and the third, and the fourth. That's when Sarah realized the truth. He wasn't checking on himself, he was checking on her. Every single night, this 110-pound Rottweiler puppy, who'd been too terrified to even look at people just weeks ago, was making rounds through the house. He'd stop at her bedroom door, stand there quietly, make sure she was safe, then moved to the windows, then back to his bed. At first, she thought it was anxiety, but then she started noticing a pattern. He wasn't pacing nervously, he was patrolling, protecting, like a guardian who'd been given a second chance and refused to fail. During the day, he was still hesitant. He'd follow Sarah from room to room, always a few steps behind. When she cooked dinner, he'd lay in the kitchen doorway, not begging for food, but positioning himself between her and the front door. When she sat on the couch, he'd rest his massive head on her lap, eyes constantly scanning the room. Visitors made him nervous at first, but if anyone raised their voice or moved too quickly near Sarah, his entire body would shift. He'd place himself between them, not aggressive, just present. A quiet 110-pound statement. She's mine to protect now. Then came the moment that proved everything. Late one night, Sarah heard him barking, a sound she'd never heard before. She rushed downstairs and found him at the back door, body tense, focused on something outside. A stranger had been trying the door handle. He didn't attack. He didn't need to. His presence alone, this massive, alert Rottweiler, sent the person running. Sarah knelt beside him, her hand shaking. He turned to her, tail wagging softly, as if to say, "I've got you." In that moment, she understood. He wasn't just a rescue. He was sent to her for a reason. Some would call it instinct, but Sarah knew it was something more. This wasn't coincidence. This was meant to be. More than a pet, he became her protector, her family, her peace of mind. Today, a year later, he still makes his nightly rounds, every single night, checking doors, watching windows, making sure she's safe. Sarah sleeps better now, knowing that 110 pounds of pure loyalty is standing guard. He taught her something profound. The ones everyone fears are often the ones with the biggest hearts. This dangerous breed puppy became the gentlest soul she'd ever known. Some would call it luck, but Sarah knows it was divine. Miracles don't always come with thunder. Sometimes they walk on 4 paws and weigh 110 pounds. People saw a monster, but he was a guardian angel. And that's his story. A story of second chances, unconditional love, and a bond that was always meant to be.